Dateline Disney. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Lauren, and today is July 17th, 2005.
The special today is the 50th anniversary of the opening of Disneyland.
Disneyland started with one man's dream, Walt Disney. While sitting at an amusement park watching his children play, he noticed how disgusting, crowded, and unpleasant the park was. Although the children were having fun, all of the parents were anxious to go home.
That's when Walt Disney started to think. He conjured up images in his head of his own amusement park that would be clean, parent-friendly, large, and magnificent. The park would be enjoyable for all ages, and no one would be antsy to get home.
After years of traveling throughout the United States, visiting many different inventors and creators, Walt Disney had an image in his head and a well-thought-out plan for his park. The park would be built on 160 acres in Anaheim, California, that was once just acres and acres of orange groves.
The park construction started in 1954, a whole year before it was finally completed. The original plans for a 45-acre park costing $9 million, but ended up being a 160-acre park costing $17 million.
On July 17, 1955, the park was open to all invited guests. These guests were invited with a ticket. Only 11,000 people were invited, which consisted of celebrities and family and friends of people who worked for Walt Disney. By the end of this day, 28,154 guests had shown, and many tickets were counterfeit.
The following day, July 18, 1955, the park opened to the general public.
Now out to Morgan to interview the oldest cast member.
Thanks, Lauren and Rachel. I'm here with Mr. Penfield, a 68-year-old man and the longest working cast member at Disneyland. So tell me, how was it like working? How old were you when you started working for Walt Disney?
I was 18 when I started working.
What was it like working for Walt?
Working for Walt was a wonderful experience for me. He was so creative and had a wide imagination. All of his intentions were for the best. And he focused on making the park as well fitted for parents as for children.
What was the park like on opening day?
Opening day was chaotic. Many more people showed than was expected, and there were many disruptions, and the park wasn't even finished. Workmen were still planting trees. Paint was wet to touch in many areas, and women's high heels were going into the asphalt as they walked. The temperature on this day was 110 degrees, causing water fountains to go dry, rides to break down. The restaurant and refreshment stands ran out of food and drink, and a gas leak closed all lanes but Main Street.
Thank you, Mr. Penfield, for your time and your insightful information. Now back to Lauren and Rachel.
On opening day, there were 18 attractions open for the guests to view in 5 different lands, including Main Street, Adventureland, Frontierland, Fantasyland, and Tomorrowland.
Some of these attractions were Autopia, Disneyland Band, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, Jungle Cruise, King Arthur Carousel, Mad Tea Party, Main Street Cinema, Mark Twain Riverboat, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Peter Pan's Flight, Snow White's Scary Adventures, Storybook Land, and Canal Boats.
Many more attractions opened in the months and years following the opening of Disneyland. Walt Disney had a dream, and he was going to make it come true.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the 50th anniversary of Dateline Disney. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as the 90 million people did 50 years ago watching it on opening day on ABC.